Welcome back to my Maya Top Gear, and today we have another Top Gear assault rifle, which is the Hail. The Hail bullets shoot in an arc, and after a set distance, split into two, which you can't really see on this because I do have points and accelerate. Actually, let me see if I take this off, if that helps it. Can't really see the split. There you can kind of see it if you watch there. It's just splitting. They kind of split over it, not to the side, so it's a little hard to see. But this is one of the most complete guns in the game, much like the Becca. The Hail would probably compete for the second most complete gun in the game, although it does have a weird firing pattern. It does... Let's see if I can get that split here. It does a ton of things. So, while the stats aren't as high as the Becca, this thing is a little more interesting. To start off with, you have a Vladof assault rifle, so you have very fast fire rate. You kind of have low damage, but as you see below the red text there, 150% critical hit damage, which is kind of not true. It really has 200% type A critical hit damage and 20% type C, which averages out to 150, but as you add in different buffs, it doesn't really work at 150. So if you're trying to do the math at 150, it's not going to work like that. You'll have to apply the 200 and the 20% type C. What makes this even more interesting is it has splash damage. As you can see, as it hits the ground here, you can see the explosion. It is the splash that gets grenade damage, and it's 80% splash, which is really high. So this thing has critical hit bonus as a red text, split pellets, and a really high splash damage, which you don't see in many guns with this kind of fire rate. On top of that, it is a Moxxi gun with lifesteal. So you start to add all this together, and this gun just does a ton of things. It puts out a lot of damage because of the high critical hit, plus the DPS of the good fire rate, solid mag size, and the reload's not bad on it either. So it's really just a very good universal all-around gun. A few other advantages is enemies with reflecting bullets. It still reflects, but because it reflects in the arc, it's less likely to reflect back at you. So this thing has, like I said, all sorts of crazy synergy. And let's kill things with it. Now sometimes it takes a bit to get used to the fire pattern, and sometimes you're better off just using it as a shotgun. Get up close, don't worry about the split, and just take enemies at close range. But if you can, like you see there, get the crit on him, you do crazy good things. I'm going to go back to my legendary siren because I just prefer that. I kind of forget that I equipped it. Did we already discover that? Yeah. So now we'll go up and kill these guys. You can really face tank with this thing pretty well because of the lifesteal. And kind of shoot over barriers. Since he has a shield, I'm not going to try to do that. Where did he go? Oh, he's being a dick. What just hit me there? Alright, going back and forth between the siren and away from it kind of messed me up here. But I'll get my Hail aim back in order here. Oh, that was not ideal. But it's okay, because I will melt him. Even without phase lock. God, now I'm calling it Borderlands 1 names. And there he goes. Now this thing can take a decent amount of ammo because of its fire rate, but I should be fine. Especially if I stop shooting it terribly. It's been a bit since I used this. And it is a gun that takes practice. Well, he's easy. And there you can see the chain reaction synergy, and just grouping them up and ending them. God damn it. These fucking grenades.
Gotcha.
Oh. I did not expect that grenade to get me from there. So the problem with it at extreme range there, you see, it's not really figuring out the arc, it's the fact that the arc gets widened out and you can't really reliably hit. And that can be a challenge. But nice thing is, as you can see, you can just tank so much thing with this. The splash damage also incredibly helps. One annoying thing is you can't see your enemy's health bar when you're aiming down. So there, I thought I had him dead, but he wasn't dead because I couldn't see his health bar. So although this is an assault rifle, I kind of use it more like a shotgun.
Stop. Another down.
But either way, it is fairly effective. One thing to watch out for is too much accelerate. Like I said, my build plays with 6 points, which isn't a ton, but when you go up to 10, you really get that arc up there. Oh, Siren Comms. Hell Witch. That is still, even after Cloud Kill, the worst Maya comm. Gotta get these guys together here. And the backpedaler is down. The Witch still sucks because it doesn't even really boost Cloud Kill, and it doesn't boost any good skills. It's just a terrible comm. You know, Helios and Flicker, well, not terrible skills. Both of them on one comm out of 3 skills, and the other one being Kinetic Reflection, is quite lame. Alright, the nice thing about those being shock barrels are they go away quickly.
Enough.
Scorn would have been back already. That's the one thing I dislike about Scorn is the incredibly long cooldown. And you can see there, just the existing dots can get you healed. And this thing dots pretty well just because it has splash damage. Now you can see there that Ironclad went down pretty quick to this because when you just aim slightly down, it's not that hard to hit enemies in the head from close range and take advantage of the fire and big crit. I wanted to get that guy. Oh, come on, slave gun. Not that I'm that worried about my health here, but you know, slagging is never good.
Stop struggling.
Oh, Bomber. Get him off his feet. Alright. Who's left?
Freeze.
Ah, I thought I had him there. Alright. Ooh, I shouldn't have used that grenade.
Bedtime.
Now I only have one left for these guys.
This
Although that might not be the end of the world. So here I'm just going to get nice and close. Not really worried about him. Because I can hit him with splash damage just to stay healthy. And there we go. And Emperor. So cool. I'm going to go open that up because this thing, like I said, does go through a decent chunk of ammo. Now, also this gun has crazy bee synergy. It's got everything the bee loves. The bee likes split pellets. This has it, especially on big bosses where it's easy to hit. On my Assault Rifles Don't Suck, You Suck video, you see me using the bee with Axton in this thing on Badassosaurus Rex and just absolutely annihilating them. But I like it on a lot of bosses because it has high DPS, but with the bee, once again, so you have split pellets, high critical hit, matching element, and splash damage. Everything that multiplies amp damage this thing has. And that's pretty sweet. So this thing gets a ton out of it. Which makes it a great boss killer. It's a good backup raid boss weapons. Sometimes when raid boss fights don't go as planned and you kind of get, you know, stuck up against the shit, like Terra with the masher phase, and everything is just slamming into you. This thing can sustain DPS heal, where the Grog doesn't really do that. Yeah, run through fire barrels. Good idea.
Stop.
This and, you know, the kitten also does that pretty well. But it's nice to have guns that do that. Because sustained healing sometimes outdoes burst healing. And with that, like, masher phase, where you can heal through it, but then you just keep getting hit, this thing can kind of heal through you and kill what you need killed. And that's pretty sweet. Alright, here's a bunch more people coming. What do we got? Bomber. Oh, and another bomber.
Silence.
But there's that Moxxi healing. You know, you can just get healed so fast with this gun. That's really quite beautiful.
Bedtime.
Maybe I'll put on the bee for the final boss to let you guys kind of see that synergy. Since you see me kill 3 of the assassins already without it. Maybe I'll do that and the Trickster com.
Gotcha. Farewell.
I think he might be the last enemy too. Yep, he is. So, let's go ahead and do this. So for once I have phase lock ready. And once again I timed that wrong. And yeah, I think that was a good example of what this thing can do with the bee against bosses. Those guys literally just disappeared into thin air. So I don't always recommend the bee for just mobbing and stuff, but you know, when you get to a boss fight and it's kind of just a DPS race, and you can kind of hit them a lot without getting hit right away, this thing's pretty fantastic. You know, boom, boom, these kind of guys, the warrior, Badassosaurus, Jackenstein, so many big boss fights, just absolutely phenomenal on. It's not even that bad on the Leviathan if you can kind of get the arc pattern right. And since he doesn't move around a lot, it's not that bad to do that. But here you can kind of see that split better. So I'm just going to shoot that. Try to get one pellet. But you can see those pellets coming out from there. And the assassins were far enough away where I was getting that, and that's why you saw them just all three die immediately. Because this thing abuses the bee in pretty much every way the bee likes to be abused. Like, the Sandhawk abuses the bee with lots of unlisted pellets and matching element, but it doesn't have splash or crit like this does. So like I said, this can abuse the bee in beautiful ways. It's one of my favorite guns also against, oh my god, what the hell? It can just absolutely melt the shit out of him. So really, really great on a lot of big enemies. It's a really solid gun for doing this kind of run. It's not the best gun in the game for these kind of things, but it's still really good at this, and it's so good on bosses. It's one of my absolute favorite boss guns for Maya because of that. Now, to get the hail, you get it from defeating Finks Slaughter Dome round 5, which is fun to do, so, you know, you're going to get a hail. On consoles with low FOV, it can be a lot harder to use because you see less. But at least if you have the Handsome Collection now, you have an FOV slider. If you don't understand that, here is the FOV. I have mine set all the way at 110 because why would you not want to see everything? But this is field of view on Xbox 360 and PS3. Now the Handsome Collection, you can spread it out, but it's a lot harder to see this. And especially when you aim down, you can't see what you're shooting at. Now if I go back to my options and go back to there and set a proper FOV, you can see a hell of a lot more. So yeah, if you guys are on the Handsome Collection and you haven't discovered that yet, it was in a recent patch, go ahead and kick it up. Parts wise, this thing doesn't really have recoil, so stock doesn't matter at all. The grip, you want Vladof because you want to get the most out of it. Every other grip is going to lower your fire rate. And you want fire rate on this thing. It's part of what makes it special. Accessories, you can get away with a lot of accessories on this. The wild accessory doesn't really hurt the spread too much. And that does fire rate and damage, so that's not a bad accessory. You can go with just the damage one. You can... yeah, it's one of those guns, once again, it's so good, I won't worry too much about the accessory. If you get the matching grip and the element that you want, I would say fuck the rest. You're good. But back to kind of use case scenarios. Like I said, you can do it for doing runs like this. But I mainly pull mine out for the boss fights. Like I said, on the peak, I use it on Dukino's mom, and oh my god, what the hell. On... like the Torg DLC, it is my go-to badass Source Rex gun, so getting a corrosive one already sounds good. I also do like it for Boom Boom, so another good reason for corrosive. I've even used it on Bloodwing. But yeah, I love it on a lot of those big bosses, because, you know, as you can see, when this starts to shoot out at full distance, it gets a little wide, but on a big boss it doesn't matter, and then you get the split, the splash, and... yeah, you get all the goodies, and it wrecks them. I like it on the Snowman, pretty much all the Headhunter bosses. I really like it on Hyperius when he goes into Slim Jim mode. You know, when his health goes low enough or his bots are kind of gone, he goes nuts and starts attacking you. And sometimes you can't afford to sit there in ADS. And with this thing, you don't really need ADS, so you can have freedom of movement and put out DPS at the same time and stay healthy. Same thing with Terra during like Masher phase. I like it quite a bit on Terra for that. Not so much Pete. I mean, Pete is just Sandhawk or nothing. But on a lot of raid bosses, it's a pretty good backup gun for when things go to hell. Even on the dragons, it's not bad if you're Maya. You know, it's not gonna have that DPS of the Sandhawk, but sometimes things go into oh shit, and you need a kind of a backup gun for that. So sustained healing, as well as having DPS, can really beat just healing with a grog and switching back to your gun, and you get hit and you do it again and again and again. sometimes just pulling something like this out to survive through that stuff while putting out damage is a better ideal. Like I said, once again, like the masher phase for Terra is a perfect example. You can kill them with this as they smack you and stay alive. So that is all for the hail. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys didn't really know much about this gun or haven't given it a shot, I hope I persuaded you to do so. And I will see you later. Thanks for watching. Bye.